I would recommend Studyiq mock interview very highly, and the experience was very good. The arrangement of the institute and the coordination of the faculty members, they were really good.
Yes, it was a good experience and I recommend it to others as well.
I will highly recommend everyone who is preparing for civil service, especially for interview.
My overall experience was very nice. I would highly recommend people to give mocks here.
The quality of board members were very good. So yes, I will definitely recommend it.
Definitely the interview experience was very good.
It was an overall nice experience, and yes, I would be recommending it to others as well.
Yes, ma'am, certainly.
Yes, I would recommend.
I would definitely recommend.
Yes, I would definitely.
Definitely.
I will recommend you highly that you should have once a conversation in Studyiq as well.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Ayush, please take a seat.
Thank you very much, sir.
Could we have a brief introduction?
Sure, sir. Sir, my name is Ayush Jaiswal. I am from Bareilly, Uttar Pradesh. And sir, I have completed my graduation from NIT Uttarakhand in Computer Science and Engineering. And after which, sir, I have also completed Masters in Economics from Open Medium. And so after completing this, I also worked with Samsung Data System as a software developer engineer for around a year and a half. And that I quitted in 2022 and started preparing for civil services. And so last year I got allocated to Indian Revenue Service Income Tax, and this being my second attempt at civil services.
So Ayush, what does your name stand for?
So my name stands for long live. Ayush means long live.
It's also the name of a ministry?
Yes, sir. It is a name of Ministry of Ayush, which is for traditional and non-conventional method of healthcare used in India.
So what is the full form of that ministry?
So the full form goes as A stand for Ayurveda, Yoga and Naturopathy, Unani, Siddha and Swarikpa, and H finally as Homeopathy.
Yes, very good. Now, you had a professional degree.
Yes, sir.
Right? And that was in computer science, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
So what made you take up the civil services?
So I have worked also with the professional degree, and I experienced the corporate sector very much. So after realizing that corporate sector is services which deal with the private goods, I want to do something in civil services because sir, it provides a lot of diversity and grassroots connect, which I think not present in the corporate sector. So that's why I chosen for it.
Right. Now, you belong to Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
Uttar Pradesh has the distinction of giving the country the first woman governor and the first woman chief minister. Are you aware?
Yes, sir.
So, what are the names?
Sir, if I am not wrong, it was Srimati Suchita Kripalani.
Right, as
governor and...
no, you've got the wrong. And who else? Anyway, let's first hear you out.
Then, sir, as chief minister is Mayawati ji.
No. The first chief minister was Sucheta Kriplani. The first governor was Sarojini Naidu.
Okay. First, actually, I've confused about it.
Right. Now, from time to time, there have been demands that UP should be divided into 4 zones. Different names have been given: Purvanchal, Harit Pradesh, so on and so forth. Awadh Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
Do you support that?
Sir, I think there is not a pressing demand for bifurcating or trifurcating of the Pradesh. Also, sir, the demand arises due to the hardship due to the geographical nature, which is very vast state, and administrative difficulties. But sir, I think as the connectivity is also increasing, and also we are digitizing the services very much, and also the bench of High Court is also present in Lucknow. So I think the challenges are somewhat reducing, and I do not think that the state should be divided.
Right. Now, coming to the area which you have been allotted, income tax.
Yes, sir.
There's a feeling that this faceless transactions which are now taking place have actually increased the problem of the common man, because earlier he could at least appeal to some person or the other and he could get a fair hearing, but now it is all faceless, with the result that the same algorithms are churned out, and the experience of the ordinary man has become quite frustrating. What would you say to that?
So the faceless system was bring out to reduce the direct intervention between the tax officers and the taxpayers. But certainly it has created its own sort of problems and challenges, like people do not resort to checking their mails or income tax notices, and then sir the case usually go to litigation, so it is increases the litigation burden. And also sir, I think the people are not certainly so much tax savvy to that extent, so it also creating a sort of problem. So I think the government should be doing a mode of hybrid sort of thing, in which the tax SSC have an option to going for faceless or otherwise. I think that would be a better solution.
Thank you, Ayush.
Thank you very much, sir.
The annual budget of the union government is before us.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when after the finance minister finished her speech,
Yes, sir.
she introduced a bill called finance bill.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is the purpose of this finance bill? What does it contain actually?
So finance bill contain the tax proposals, and it is used to raise the revenues for the government.
Okay.
That's because it is mandated by our constitution that no revenue could be raised without authority of law.
Very
so
good.
it is for that purpose only.
But then tell me, whenever taxes are proposed in the budget,
Yes, sir.
they become effective from midnight.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you say that finance bill or without the authority of law you cannot collect any tax.
Yes, sir.
That is the constitutional position.
Yes, sir.
The finance bill has just been introduced. It has not been passed.
Yes, sir.
So what law empowers the government to collect taxes from the same night?
So I'm not actually aware of these kind of provisions.
Okay. Provisional Collection of Taxes Act.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. I will be reading about it.
Right. See, the finance minister has limited the fiscal deficit to 4.1 or something.
Yes, sir. 4.8.
Okay. So the whole emphasis was to limit the fiscal deficit.
Yes, sir.
But she has cut a lot of capital expenditure. Is that the right way to limit the fiscal deficit?
Yes, sir. Certainly, sir, the government is on a fiscal consolidation path, and it is trying to reduce the fiscal deficit as well as the debt to GDP ratio. But sir, when we say the capital expenditure, if we see the revised estimate, it is not utilized to the extent which was budgeted in the last session. So the government has increased capital expenditure, but not that extent. It is only 11.2 lakh crore. But sir, I think the government is supposing that the private sector should be chipping in, so that private sector should do the infrastructure investment also. So by crowding in the private sector, the government is planning to do the growth and balancing the both things.
Okay.
Good morning, Ayush.
Good morning, ma'am.
How are you feeling?
Ma'am, I'm feeling very great.
You say that you enjoy doing morning walk.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go for a morning walk today?
Yes, ma'am.
You did. Where did you go?
Ma'am, I stepped out of my colony and then from my road to the next park.
Okay, so you generally do your morning walk
Yes,
in the
ma'am.
park.
Not actually in park, because the park is, ma'am, where I living is not well maintained actually. So that's the reason. So I go from the street to street and then to the park finally.
So what do you suggest at the level of policies? What should we do to, one, encourage people to take up more and more morning walk and other sort of physical activities, and two, to maintain hygiene so that, they feel like going for it?
Ma'am, I think first on a policy level, I think there should be investment in urban mobility, and which increase people to not only morning walking but general walking also. So there should be avenues of footpath or walking streets. And regarding the hygiene, I think there's not entirely in the domain of government, but also civic consciousness among the people should also arise, so that they contribute effectively to maintain the public goods which are in their localities.
So what would be the difference between enjoying your morning walk and, sometimes indulging in jogging?
Then jogging is a different exercise in which it is a more intense physical exercise. But morning walk is not only about walking, it is also a mental exercise. Before I go for morning walk, it make my day, and I reflect upon the thoughts and reflect upon the yesterday or the upcoming day. So it is a mashup of both things, physical as well as the mental. But jogging is certainly a high intensity exercise.
Mm-hmm. So you've worked in the corporate for almost 2 years?
Yes, ma'am, around.
So you think that there are enough welfare measures for women working in corporate sector in India?
Ma'am, welfare measure, I think the corporate go for diversity hiring, which I observed in my campus also. So they try to make sure that their employees are more diverse, which include gender diversity as well. Ma'am, in case of welfare, I think the corporate provide certain reliefs for the formal sector employees like maternity benefits and other like complaint committees are also there. So these are the things which the corporates provide as of now.
Have you heard of paternity leave?
Yes, ma'am, I heard of.
Does Samsung provide paternity leave?
Ma'am, I'm not sure, but
What are your views on it?
ma'am, I think it should be provided because the child rearing duties is not entirely in the domain of women. It is a duty which is gender neutral, and both the male partner as well as the female could look after the kid as well. So I think the paternity leave should also be provided, and it will make sure that there is a couple equality at very couple level.
Is it provided at all in India?
Ma'am, perhaps it vary according to company, but I'm not sure overall in Indian case.
It is provided in the government sector, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Go check about it. You come from Faridpur,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Who was Baba Farid?
Ma'am, Baba Farid was a Sufi saint who was teach his ideas in the 13th century in the areas surrounding the Punjab. So he was a Sufi saint, ma'am.
Has he contributed in Sikhism in any way?
Yes, ma'am, definitely. There are many verses of Baba Farid which are exactly copied in the Guru Granth Sahib or the Adi Guru Granth Sahib.
So why Baba Farid? Baba Farid was not any of the Sikh gurus. We only have 10 Sikh gurus.
Yes, ma'am.
So he was not one of them. So why has his verses been included in Guru Granth?
Ma'am, perhaps in the Nirgun Bhakti, which the Baba Farid and as well the Guru Nanak was involved, the divisions were not much strong because the everyone was preaching the Nirgun in a same form or other. So they preached the moral ideas as well. So that included and then resonated with the people of the area. So they incorporated the same verses.
So why only Baba Farid? Why not other saints of that time?
Ma'am, Guru Granth Sahib also consists of teachings of Kabir also, which is also a Nirgun Bhakt. So I think there is a tendency of aligning the thoughts of Nirgun Bhakti in the textualizing in the form of Guru Granth Sahib.
All right. You also enjoy reading Indian ethics.
Yes, ma'am.
So what do you think is the source of Indian ethics? Who is the father of Indian ethics?
Ma'am, Indian ethics is not from any particular father, or it is practiced in day-to-day basis. But if we can go to the sources, it is the Shruti literature, starting from the Vedas and its Upanishad and so on. And it also manifested in the Smriti literature. These all form the basis of Indian ethics, which preaches people how they should be acting as per their dharma.
So give me 5 key features of Indian ethics according to you.
Sure, ma'am. First of all, it emphasizes people to follow their own dharma, and which varies as per the situation and as per the specification. Varnashram dharma or the different type of dharma. Second, I think, ma'am, there is a concept of karma, which is very logical contention, and also, ma'am, it emphasizes on, ma'am, the community duties of the person, not only living up for them also, but for community duties. And fourthly, ma'am, I think Indian ethics in a sense talk about not about conquering the outside world, but also conquering our inner self. So that's the main feature. And lastly, ma'am, Indian ethics is very comprehensive. It considers ourselves to be a part of nature and not to dominate the nature. So that's the difference.
Very well. Thank you, Ayush.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Ayush, to an earlier question, you mentioned that we should promote walking
Yes, sir.
and that we should make sidewalks.
Yes, sir.
Do you think that's a practical solution in a tropical country like India, where you have temperatures in excess of 40 degrees centigrade for 8 months?
So it could be effectively timed as per the time of the day, because in evening or morning, but certainly it is not feasible in high heat times of the midday. So, but sir, walking is a necessary thing because of the obesity pandemic we are witnessing. So walking is a very effective exercise for countering this.
Do you think, in your opinion, that in Indian policy making we tend to copy a lot of the Western ideas and principles without, say, suiting it to the Indian context?
Perhaps, sir, it might be the case, but we also do make due diligence about what principles suit to our extent and not copying blindly, because we have a vast cultural difference as per vis-a-vis the West.
Okay. Since you're a taxman, tell us about base erosion and profit shifting. What is it?
So it is a practice incorporated by the global MNCs in which they try to reduce their global tax liabilities by shifting their profit out of the high tax jurisdiction to the lower tax jurisdiction, so their global tax liability is reduced to extent.
So is there a method we can identify a particular business? Say, is it actually for a genuine commercial purpose or is it for tax avoidance? Does Government of India have any policy or any program for identification?
So there are general anti-avoidance rules, and also, sir, there is a OECD-led BEPS program, and also, sir, we have scrutinized the transaction based on the intention behind this, like the transfer pricing and the arm's length pricing intention. We also scrutinize on the basis that whether the transaction is done for purely commercial basis or there was some hidden intention of reducing the tax liability. So it is being done.
You mentioned the OECD.
Yes, sir.
So have you heard of the principal purpose test?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us about it?
So if I am remembering correctly, it is a test in which it is scrutinized that whether a company which is located in certain extent has done a commercial transaction or a FPI investment basically for commercial purposes and not for the basis of tax erosion or something.
Okay, good. Tell us about your GST. What's the percent of GST that you employ or apply on, say, air conditioners and fridges? Can you take a guess?
Guess, I think it might be 18%.
Okay, let me correct you, it's 28%.
Okay, sir.
So let me go back to my question again. Do you think that's fair, again, in a tropical country like India, to have such high tax rate on, say, items of basic necessity?
Sir, as our income grows, whatever our necessity, that pool also grows. And I think when we grow, we should reduce the tax on these necessities items. But as of now, it is considered not a necessity, but also luxury. So it is taxed by that intention of 28%.
Okay, but you're correlating it to income levels.
Yes, sir.
I want you to correlate to, say, climate change. Does that make sense in that context?
Certainly, sir, in case of climate change, we have to reduce our GST level on these items because, sir, we have also pledged to reduce our global our energy requirements also. So I think it should also be reduced.
Where have we pledged that we want to reduce our energy requirements? What's that document called?
So it is NDCs or nationally determined contributions in the Paris Climate Pledge. We have pledged.
Good. What's Article 6 of Paris Climate Agreement?
Article
6.
No, sir, not aware about.
Okay, what's the whole controversy or the dispute regarding, say, carbon markets when you consider them globally?
So perhaps I'm not correct, but I think the basic contention is that climate market have not universal standards. So there are multiple agencies setting multiple standards, and that's why the climate trade is going on. And also, sir, there's also certain other thing that the developing countries tend to be net exporter of carbon credits, which is not certainly the developed country wants.
Okay. Can you name us the 3 funds that form the basis of climate finance?
So it is loss and damage fund, which was recently incorporated. There's also adaptation fund, and there's also one fund about mitigation.
Mitigation, correct. Okay. So why do, say, the Western countries not want to give money to adaptation fund, whereas they are more than happy to give money for mitigation funds?
So because adaptation has a very localized effect and it is restricted to the geographies only, and so Western countries are being historically been the major contributor for the climate change. So in order to balance this by some moral implication, they are giving money for mitigation but not for the adaptation.
Okay, one last question for you.
Yes.
Where is the next COP for UNFCCC to be held?
So I'm not recalling that.
Okay, thank you, Ayush.
Thank you very much, sir.
So Ayush, with that we come to the end of our formal interaction.
Yes, sir.
We will now get into the feedback session, but prior to that, a few questions. How many marks did you get in the previous interview?
So I got 195.
195, that's very good. So let's hope you get even better this time.
Yes, sir.
And how have you done your mains?
So mains is relatively better based on my previous attempt, because previous attempt was my first attempt, so I was no idea about how the marking was.
So of course, Ayush, now that you've been through the whole drill, you'll be having a good idea of what it's all about. But let me also say that now there would be heightened expectations.
Yes, sir, that I'm aware of. Yes, sir.
Please stand up. I want to see whether your tie is properly aligned.
No, sir, it's not proper actually.
Yes, it's not. It should cover the belt buckle, and the tie at the back, the portion at the back should go into the loop.
Yes, sir.
Plus, do you plan to wear the same shirt?
Oh, no, sir.
You see, you get the best out of a mock if you come dressed as though you're going for the actual thing, right?
Yes, sir.
So bear that in mind. Your hair needs to be properly groomed, and
Definitely.
you need to be clean shaven because you're coming up against oldies who like a certain style of dressing and formality, right? It's a formal event.
Yes, sir. Definitely, I will be changing the entire attire.
I find that your posture is, I'm first getting to the nitty gritty and then we'll go to the other aspects. Your posture is very stiff. You should just hold your hands casually like this, align your back with the back of the chair,
Yes, sir.
and be relaxed.
Yes, sir.
The more relaxed you are, the more positive vibes you emanate, and the better in terms of your performance. Your shoes also need to shine.
Yes, sir. Definitely, I will be changing that also.
So your self-assessment, how did it go?
So perhaps relatively at par, but I think there's a lot of improvement scope in terms of energy levels and how I am sounding. I need to increase my voice. That the recent feedback that I was getting.
You have plenty of time.
Yes, sir.
Ayush. You have till 26th March.
Yes, sir.
So you can iron out the kinks till then. And which newspapers are you reading?
So I follow Indian Express and the Mint.
Right. Add the Hindu to this mix, and they have a particular section called text and context. So both for Indian Express and for the Hindu, you should take notebook like this, take a pen and keep jotting down things of relevance from there. Right?
Definitely, sir.
And which TV channels are you seeing?
So sometimes I watch Vantage, and that's all.
You are not watching Vion.
No, sir.
Add that to the mix because that gives you a very concise form and exposure to international relations.
Definitely, sir. I will be adding it.
So Ayush, you of course would be aware that an interview, a personality test, is not a test of knowledge per se.
Yes, sir.
But each question is like a key to unlock some facet of your personality.
Yes, sir.
Right. And what are the panelists looking for? So initially, I would suggest, because this would be something which would be common to all candidates, all aspirants, integrity is very important.
Definitely, sir.
So don't guess, right? Don't bluff, because you are facing very experienced people.
Yes, sir.
No false claims, no exaggerations, right? Lucidity, and by that I mean that your response has to be very well rounded, right? And it has to be very well structured.
Definitely, sir.
Right. So for that you need analytical ability, and that comes by not just surface reading of the news, but by going into the depth, nitty gritty. You don't want a superficial reading only.
Yes, sir.
And once you go into that, then conceptual clarity also emerges. That's also very important. The concepts need to be crystal clear in your mind, and you should be able to express them equally. It's like Arjun and the eye of the fish.
Yes, sir.
Each time it should just go and hit the eye. It should not go left, right, all over the place. Right?
Definitely, sir.
So essentially we are looking for someone who's able to express himself concisely, but at the same time comprehensively. So that's a tightrope walk. Right?
Yes, sir.
It's an art, but you have to master that. Balanced opinions, nothing extreme obviously. Poise and self-confidence, because it's a rocky road. An interview will never progress in one smooth line. There will be ups and downs. So every time you find that you are not able to answer, take fresh guard, like Sachin Tendulkar used to do after reaching his 100, and he used to say that I feel like I'm on zero. Don't carry any baggage. If something has happened, you haven't been able to answer properly, let it go. And quick thinking, because sometimes a trick question is asked just to see whether you get flustered or not, right?
Yes, sir.
Self-awareness and awareness of the world around you. That's the hallmark of a good civil servant.
Definitely, sir.
So questions are going to come from DAF. There are four main areas. DAF, your subject, work area, and current events, right? So take about 100 of these A4 size papers and divide them into these four categories. Think of about 15-20 questions which are likely to come. No one can predict obviously, but this exercise will help you.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir.
And then for each topic, jot down those questions create that question bank, and for each topic do a deep study, and then reduce everything to 4 or 5 bullet points in order of priority, and then sit in front of a mirror and practice, that if this question comes, then this is how I will tackle it. You need to be also aware a little bit, your default response is okay, which is a bit of a slang in a formal setting. So it should be thank you sir or thank you ma'am. And I noticed that twice while addressing the lady member you said sir.
I would be correcting it, sir.
Yes,
It's a major blunder.
You have to be very careful, you have to be on the ball, you have to concentrate. These slip-ups mar the smooth flow of the, and create unnecessary, adverse impressions on the board. You are a very good candidate. You come from such a great place, you've already made it. There are lakhs of candidates who are searching for a job and who are basically parasites, giving their 8th or 9th attempt. So you need to, for the first time you're also smiling. You were rather grim and, as though you're a convict on death row.
No, sir.
So just relax, be your natural self, you'll do very well. You just have to take that extra leap.
Definitely, sir.
Best of luck.
Thank you very much, sir.
Anybody who needs to add?
No, it's okay. You were fairly comprehensive. Actually, speak clearly, and each word, should be clearly heard. When you speak a little faster, certain things may not be clearly heard by the.
And you're speaking to old fogies whose hearing is compromised.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes,
so that you should keep in mind. That's how it should be.
Definitely.
Otherwise, you are fairly articulate and.
But you can prepare a better answer for that question. The first question that sir asked, that you come from a professional background and now you're aspiring for administrative services. Why? So from BTech to UPSC, that shift needs to be articulated better. You could not really answer that question.
Sure.
In fact,
and it's a very significant
many of these
question.
candidates, are not able to answer.
Yeah. So that's a major shift that you're going to,
It's an
mark
absolutely
upon.
cliched kind of reply they give. That we want to serve the society or serve the people or something like that.
Should I attempt a response? Of course, it won't be a ready-made answer. You have to make your own answer.
Definitely.
But I would suggest that you can, in my view, the civil services are not a career, it's a calling, right? Because it gives you an opportunity for public service from day one, and you are in a position to respond to the common man's problems and redress his grievances, right, at the beginning, right from day one. And then as you go up the seniority ladder, you can provide policy inputs which will affect crores of your countrymen. So that kind of passion for public service has to come out.
Yes, sir. I will articulate it more better.
More better is incorrect. I will articulate it in a better way.
Yes, sir.
Right? You're on a very good path. Please keep on working on the lines which have been suggested, and I'm sure you'll get the service you want.
Definitely, sir.
Best of luck. Any question from your side?
No, sir, not actually.
Okay. You might like to keep your knees a little closer together, right? Knees.
Not your foot.
Not like that. Put your knees a little closer together. Knees. Your knees are splayed out like that. It doesn't look nice. Huh? Okay. Best of luck. Again, you've got your default posture stiff. Be relaxed, like I'm relaxed.
Yes, sir.
Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you, ma'am.